Hello all, a warm welcome to all of you in the 18th session of Chess with Gaurav Bakliwal Season 2. I am Pradosh from USA. It's my privilege and honor to be a volunteer for today's session. Today's game was played in assembly between Kasparov and Karpov in 1987. It is one of the best games of Kasparov in his own admission and certainly the most important game in his chess career. It is one of the best. It is one of the. One sec. It is one of the.
Okay, Pradosh, no problem. Let's begin, Pradosh, no problem. Hi, Pradosh, hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Pradosh. It's okay. And it gives me a great pleasure that, global people from USA are trying to support us. And Pradosh, you are so young and taking this activity of volunteering, anchoring. It's so nice of you. Well done, Pradosh. Very good. Okay, my dear students, my dear audience. Hello, Sharvi. I can see Arisha, Mishka, Saket, Sanjit, Harsh, Vihan. Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you guys? Okay, you can write in chat. How are you people? Good? Okay, very nice. So guys, as Pradosh was telling, today's game is a very amazing game I have chosen. And in sports, there has been always rivalry. If you look at tennis, there is a rivalry of Federer and Nadal. Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal. What a rivalry. So similarly in chess, one of the greatest rivalries is between or had been between Garry Kasparov and Anatoly Karpov. They both were from Russia and Karpov was the world champion from 1973 onwards. Bobby Fischer forfeited the world championship match, and Karpov was declared the world champion. And from then he defeated Korchnoi and one more player after 2, 3, 4 years. And he was world champion in 1984 when Garry Kasparov challenged him. Now, Garry Kasparov-Karpov match, if you ask me to speak, I can speak for not less than, say, 10, 12 hours. There is so much to speak. Amazing rivalry. But I'll tell you in little brief. In 1984, they played. The rule was whosoever wins 6 games will win the championship. So it so happened that Karpov was 5 games up and there were some 31 games already played. So 32nd game was then won by Kasparov, and then series of draws happened, another 14 of them. And then 47th and 48th game was also won by Kasparov. So Karpov was leading 5-3, and then the FIDE president forfeited the World Chess Championship, 1984. They said enough. Now we will do next 6 after 6 few months. It is taking to the toll of the players and players are not able to concentrate and so on. In the history of chess, it has happened only once. 1985, they again met. And this time, my dear friends, lot of close matches. And finally, it was won by Garry Kasparov, 13-11 out of 24 games. 1986, they again went. Karpov challenged Kasparov. And this time, Garry Kasparov won the tournament 12.5, 11.5. So close contest. And again, 1987, they again met in World Championship, which is where I have taken a game today. The last game, it happened in Seville. Last game, Garry Kasparov was trailing behind 11-12 Karpov was leading 12-11. Karpov was ahead. So Kasparov needed to win this game so that 12-12 can happen, and then Kasparov will retain the World Championship title. That was a rule of FIDE. So I have taken the 24th game of the 1987 World Chess Championship civilly between Garry Kasparov and Anatoly Karpov. So this is amazing, amazing game, and we will obviously talk about it more when I show you the game. So I think let me share the screen with you guys. Okay, right. Okay. So let's, Pradosh, I can't see you. Are you there? You can open your camera now. Yeah, well done. Very good. So Pradosh, no problem. No problem. That's fine. So let's see the game. And the game started with c4. Kasparov is white here. Garry Kasparov is white. So during this game, my dear friends, I will also share with you live commentary of whatever Garry Kasparov said, you know, what Kasparov actually said. So I have got hold of that Kasparov's himself ideas and what he said about this game. So I'll just speak with you word by word. Okay. So let's see what Kasparov said about this game. My God. I can look back at my chess career and pick out more than a few crisis points, but only one Mount Everest. I would like to share the tale to investigate the means I used in winning the most important game of my life. After a tough, prolonged defense, I suffered one of the most worst hallucinations of my career and blundered to a loss in game number 23. Suddenly, Karpov was up by a point and was only a draw away from taking back the crown he had lost to me 2 years earlier. The very next day after this catastrophe, I had to take the white pieces and must win game 24. Kaisa, the goddess of chess, had punished me for my conservative play, for betraying my nature. I would not be allowed to hold on to my world title without winning a game in the second half of the match. Only once, my dear friends, in the history of chess had the champion won a final game to retain his title. And that was when the back against the wall, Emmanuel Lasker bet Shelter in 1910 in the last match. The win allowed Lasker to draw the match and keep his title for further 11 years till 1921. The Shelter, like Karpov, had a reputation of a defensive wizard. There was more to think about than game 23 and 24, of course. They were also the games 119 and 120 between us. Can you believe, my dear friends? So Garry Kasparov and Karpov totally have played 144 games between them only in World Championships. And the score is very, very close. 21 win by Kasparov, 19 by Karpov, and there had been 104 total draws. So after 87, they again met in 1990, which was again won by Kasparov. So that is an amazing, amazing rivalry. And this expert I have taken from the How Life Imitates Chess from a book of Garry Kasparov. Okay, so let's now, my dear friends, come to the game. Right. So after c4, the game continued e6, knight f3, knight f6, g3, b5, and very surprisingly, Kasparov played here b3, double side fianchetto. We call it two sides fianchetto when the bishops is developing from g2 as well as b2. We call it double side fianchetto. So it's a kind of a surprise move for Karpov, b3. The general move here I can tell you is b4. And then the game might continue. Bishop check, bishop d2, bishop e7, bishop g2, castle, castle, and c6 with almost equal position. So b3 was a big surprise, and the game continued bishop to e7, bishop g2, castle, castle, b6, bishop b2, bishop to b7, e3, Knight bd7. So I'm just showing you the initial moves a little faster. Knight c3. And now knight e4 was played by Karpov. So here come the first idea of Karpov. He wants to play knight e4 and he wants to probably attack the knight on c3, and he tries to exchange the pieces as much as possible, because the moment he tries to exchange as much, he will be able to draw the game. And Karpov is just wanting draw. Please understand. It is a must win for Gary Kasparov. Karpov कौन है? Karpov was world chess champion from 1973 to 1985. 1985. और ये जो मैच है 1987 का है. कास्परोव ने ही कार्पोव को 85 में हराया और अब 87 का ही मैच. तो नाइट टू e4. अब इस पोजीशन में गाइस, इन दिस पोजीशन कास्परोव प्लेड एन वेरी नाइस मूव है. मुझे बहुत पसंद आई ये मूव. व्हेन आई सॉ दिस गेम, ऑल्दो इसमें बहुत अच्छी अच्छी चालें आगे भी है, भगवान गेम है ये आगे का, बट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द साइकोलॉजी. ब्लैक वांट्स टू एक्सचेंज द पीसेस. तो यहाँ पे उसको क्या करना चाहिए? व्हाट शुड व्हाइट डू अकॉर्डिंग टू यू? गाइस, यू कैन राइट इन चैट. If you capture here, it's not very good. Then your d pawn becomes backward. This e4 pawn will try to stop it. So that's not a good idea. If you capture cd5, I would not suggest that as well. C into d5 is not a good idea. Again, knight into c3 and bishop d5 is also a possibility.
I think it's knight b5.
Knight b5. Okay, knight b5. That's a nice idea. But then, why do you want to play b5? I mean, why do you want to go there when you can't attack on c7 and a7? Instead of that, your idea is very good. Queen c2 is also written by Saket here. Harsh, you have to write in chat. I will not be able to allow you to speak actually. You can write in chat because it's live streaming. So I'll answer your question if you write in chat, right? So knight e2. Knight e2 is correct idea here. Knight e2. Yes, well done. Well done. So knight e2, the main idea is not try to exchange and keep the tension as far as possible. And here the correct move was bishop f6. Try to get this bishop on this diagonal. Very, very good move, bishop f6. And then the game might continue. Queen to c2, c5, d3, bishop b2, queen to b2, knight f6. So again, I would say almost equal position, wherein black has been able to exchange this bishop with the very important white bishop. But coming back to the game, Karpov played the move a5. And the idea is to probably play a4 and try to open via a5, game via a5. So d3, that was the main idea of knight e2. And now Karpov played a good move, bishop f6. Instead of going back knight f6 or knight d6, it's a good idea to play bishop f6. So again, queen to c2, bishop into, queen into, and now knight d6, pawn into, bishop into. Yes, audience, your turn. What do you think the plan should be now? The game is progressing. White is trying to play on the c file. The c file rook will come here, and slowly and gradually the game will be towards the center as well. Knight f4, well done. Knight f4 is a good idea. Rook d1 is a very good idea. Wow, audience, very well done. Yes, Pradosh, what do you think?
I think the rook on a1 should go to c1.
Rook c1 is a good idea again. Rook c1, rook f d1, they are all nice ideas. I like them, and they were played by white. You know, they were definitely played by white. But in this position, no, it is white to play, not e5, e4 you want to say, I guess, e4. Okay. Now, if you ask me, if the knight can come to c5, you know, then it can create some problems because he's attacking the d3 square. And if you play d4 after that, then the knight can come to e4. Are you getting my point? So your rook c1 you can play a move later, rook d1 you can play a move later. The move played by Gary Kasparov here was very interesting, and that was pawn to d4. So what did he achieve? What did he do? He stopped the squares of the knight. Wow. He wants to stop the square of the knight. And knight f4 is certainly the idea. Knight c3 can be the idea. e4 I can plan later on. But d4 is a very, very good pawn structure now. Look at the pawn structure of white. It's so solid at this point in time. So d4, c5 was played by black here. He tries to again, so that if white capture, the knight can come back. And now rook to d1. Whenever the queen is on the d file, it's a good idea to keep the rook on that. There is a concept called X-ray attack, X-ray concept. Wow, very nice. Rook to c8 was played here. Knight f4. Now I think in this position, Karpov maybe could have tried bishop d7. I mean, there is no need to play bishop into knight. But again, as Karpov said, the idea is to exchange as much. And if he got the opportunity of exchanging without wasting a move as it is, sooner or later he will have to exchange. That's what he said. So bishop f3 was played in the game, which is not accurate move actually. So after bishop into f3, queen e7, and now comes rook a c1. Look at the way white is playing the game. There is no hurry. Slowly and gradually, all the pieces are coming in a tender. Rooks are coming on the open file. There is no hurry. And now, don't you think, Pradosh, this bishop is amazing, amazing bishop. So huge diagonal it is occupying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So after rook a c1, rook d8 was played here. Rf d8. And after long thinking, Kasparov played pawn into pawn here. So I thought he said that enough of maneuvering. My pieces have taken the best positions. Let me open the center. Now here, rook c5 should have been played, and then Kasparov said, I really don't know how I could have won this game. Rook c5. Now it's a dead draw, dead equal position. Pawns here, and pawn structure is almost same, and the c file is also going to be doubled by black. So rook into c5, the game might continue. Rook c5, knight to c5, d4, capture, and then knight c8. Exactly equal position. There is no way white can win this. Computer gives it as 0.3. 0.3 is nothing but very minimal advantage. So here comes, I would say, first mistake of the game, knight into c5. This is first mistake of the game. And now the b4 was played in the game. Pawn into queen into b4, attacking the pawn b6. Queen a7, defending it, and trying to attack a2 as well. a3. Now again look at the position, my dear friends. What you have to say about this position? It is almost equal, but don't you think white is slightly better? Would you like to put white as slightly better or not? Yes. B file, this pawn is a clear weakness. And
Looks
you
like
cannot play rook a8 because this bishop is guarding the a8 square. So you cannot use this open file, whereas we can use the open file.
it looks like it's exactly equal.
It looks equal, but there is a slight advantage to white. And the advantage is
Yeah,
the pawn weakness of b6.
and also the bishop.
The bishop, very, very important bishop. So in the game, knight f5 was played here, and rook into rook was the best bet of white here. White should have played with advantage. Rook b1 was played by white. So after rook into rook, queen to c7. Knight d3. Now the knight is not doing much over there. Knight d3, trying to exchange with this knight because this knight has suddenly become very, very important piece, and it is with support as well. So h6 and rook c1, pinning the knight. Knight e7, queen to b5. And here comes the second error of the game. The correct move here was queen to a7 again, trying to attack on a3. But then knight f5 was played by Karpov here. And this is move number 28. And all of a sudden, when you start reaching move 28, 29, 30, 31, you start reaching time pressure. There are 40 moves to be played under time control, and then the game can be adjourned. So if the game is adjourned, then earlier rules I'm talking about, then the players and with their seconds and with their team can do a lot of analysis, because adjourned means the same position we'll play from here the next day. So you have got full night to prepare. So Karpov was not willing to do that. Karpov wanted that if at all the game is adjourned, it should be in a simplified position, because he wanted to somehow draw this game at least. But alas, it could not happen. And after knight to f5, audience, what is the move here? Can you find a good idea? What to do? Your bishop is placed in the one of the best diagonal. Knight has come to the best. Rook has taken the open file. Almost all pieces are in the best positions. Now you
I
need.
think you should exchange knights.
No, not now. Not now. If you capture knight into knight, he will capture pawn into, and then it's okay. You have a4, a5, a6. But that's very far right now. And he can also play c4, c3, c2. Something like that. What is the move, audience? Come on, please write in chat. A4, Harsh Dayal has written a very, very good move here. Wow, A4, well done. What a nice move it is. The idea is to play A5 and weaken this pawn. And if we capture, then we can capture this knight free of cost. So there is a clear idea of A4, which is to play A5 and weaken the knight on C5. What a nice move, A4. What a nice move it is. Wow. So when we play A4, black played knight to D6. Again, a good move, trying to attack the queen and not giving any chance to play A5. Wow. So after knight D6, queen B1 was played by Garry Kasparov and queen A7 was played by Karpov, stopping A4. Now he is trying to capture a pawn. Oh, this pawn is under attack. So Garry saw this earlier or not? Or do you think he missed this pawn? This pawn is going now. There is no defense actually. So now Garry Kasparov moved his knight on e5 and sacrificed this pawn. He is now sacrificing it. And this is move 31. So now let's see, my dear friends, let's hear what Garry Kasparov has to say on this move. Let's hear first. Okay. So what does he say about it? Seeing a chance to play for an attack, I moved my knight to the central e5 square, offering a pawn. Karpov took the bait and grabbed the pawn, a temptation that could have led to disaster. And he had to play quickly now, as it was still a long way to move 40, when by the rules by then enforced, the game would be adjourned and more time added before continuation the next day. And that's what he said himself. क्या बोला उसने, क्या कहना चाहता है? I am offering a pawn, seeing a chance to do attack, I offered a pawn. ऐसा उसने बोला. ओ हो. ओके, अब आगे देखो क्या हुआ है. तो अभी आगे की चाल बताता हूँ मैं आपको. नाइट इनटू उसने पॉन मारा, रुक से रुक मारा इसने, रुक से c8 चेक मारा. एंड नाउ आई विल टेल यू फर्स्ट व्हाट ही सेड. I exchanged the rook, leaving me with queen, knight, and bishop against queen and two knight. He had an extra pawn, but I had seen a tactical possibility that would give me a very powerful attack. His pieces were dangerously uncoordinated, and the king was vulnerable. If I could penetrate into his position with my queen, I could exploit both the factors at the same time. Batao yaar, इनकी बातें सुनने से ही कितना कुछ सीखने को मिलता है. How much to learn in this? Oh my God, he's saying that I had seen a tactical possibility that would give me a powerful attack. Powerful attack. Pieces are not coordinated. King is vulnerable. Piece coordination nahi hai. King is vulnerable. The question was where to move my queen on the move 33. Karpov could only wait, knowing he would have to reply almost immediately, or he wouldn't have enough time to make the next 8 moves without losing on time, said by Gary Kasparov in live How Life Imitates Chess. बताओ भाई साहब, मजा आ रहा है कि नहीं? ओहो, क्या यार है? आ रहा है प्रदोष? Are you enjoying or not? The
Yes, sir.
commentary by Kasparov. Did you learn? Did you learn from what he said? 95.
Yeah.
So in the game, knight into a4 was played in the game, and all of a sudden the computer now gives plus 4.5 for white. It's a clear winning position. And now queen b5 was clearly winning for white here. Clear winning, as the computer says, plus 4.6. Queen b5. But
What
again,
if
Kasparov was also a human being, my dear friend, and he got distracted by the arbiter who tapped on his shoulder and said, Mr. Kasparov, you have to write the moves as well. Anyways, Pradosh, speak up. You are saying something.
what if he captured with the queen?
Yeah, that's what he should have done in this position. In this position, queen into a4 is better than knight into a4. It is better. But then after queen into b6, queen a3, queen b1, rook to f8, rook d1, attacking the knight, king to g2, queen b3, and queen c1. It is still white is who is better. It's white's better position. But this should have been played. Knight a4 and the game is gone now. So after rook to c8, knight c8, queen b5 was missed by Gary Kasparov. Idea is queen e8. Oh my God! All of a sudden the queen will go inside and attack f7 as well. So in the game he played queen e1, and now knight e7 was played by Karpov. Knight c5 is a better move here. And now comes queen into h7, knight into f7. All of a sudden, look at the pieces. Queen h8 is ideas. This pawn has become weak. This check can come in. Queen has penetrated in the last rank. All of a sudden, the pieces have become so active. So Karpov fought very hard actually. Knight g6 was played here. Queen e8. Now you will see one of the most amazing maneuvering which is done by Kasparov. He just kept pushing slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly. So queen e8, queen e7, trying to exchange, queen into knight, a4, queen into f7, bishop e4. What a nice move, audience. Now once and for all, this pin is very deadly and this diagonal is very deadly. Very deadly. And this pawn, don't worry about it. I can capture it whenever I want. Whenever I want, I can capture it. It's a very weak pawn. So after king to g8, queen b5, queen into b6. And this is the 40th move of white. And here the game was adjourned. Game was adjourned. And white's position is clearly superior. He is not only a pawn up, but his bishop is very good compared to the knight of the black. Yes, audience, mante ho ki nahi? Is it a winning position or not?
Yeah, it should be.
Yes, sir. Yes, very good. Now you will see the maneuvering which was done after queen f6, queen to b5, queen e7, king g2. White is in no hurry, guys. This is what we have to learn. We keep on playing things f4, f5, g4. We try to make things progress fast, and in the process we create weaknesses, and the other person can get some counter play and he can defend by doing checks or whatever. You have to play very solid chess. You should learn how to play solid chess. King g2, no hurry. There is no hurry. Now see this maneuvering which is done by Kasparov. And he said, the best news that I could play this position forever. Maneuvering around to provoke a mistake by my opponent. Black would be tied down on defense the entire time, and Karpov knew it. The prospect of such prolonged torture took its toll. I could see it in his eyes when he walked on the stage a few minutes after I did. जब वो adjournment के बाद आया तो कास्ट्रो उसकी आंखों में देख पा रहा था. There was a glare in his eye कि भाई ये position minus है, जाएगी कुछ. G6, Queen A5, simple moves. Queen G7, Queen F7, H4, my God, H5, simple Queen C6, no hurry. Bishop to D3, Queen D6, E4, now trying to play E5 as well. Bishop C4, check, again Queen D6, Bishop B5. Idea is to take this long diagonal, and then Bishop C6. My God. And now finally Karpov went the queen away, and now white can take this attack coming to Bishop E8, coming to Queen D8, and so on. So after this position, first he played Queen B4, and again Queen C7, Queen to B7. If you can exchange queens now, white is one pawn up here with a clear win ending, clear winning position. So obviously black defended and he played Queen B8. So this is again one more error. You should have played Queen E5 here. It's still better than Queen D8. Keeping in the center. And if both Queen and Bishop leave this E4, then probably it can also be attacked. Queen G7, Queen F6. All squares are covered. So Queen E5 is a good enough move here, but let's see what happened after Queen D8. And now white got the idea of playing E5. So once E5 is done, then this both squares become vulnerable as well. Queen A5. Yes, audience. What is the winning move, Pradosh?
I think it's F4.
No, don't play F4. Don't open your king. Don't give him a chance to give you a check. What is the winning move here, audience? Can you write in chat? Queen B5. No, he'll again play Queen D8, Queen C7. There is a very good move here, audience.
Queen A8.
Queen A8. No. Okay, yes, no problem. What is the guys? Come on. Bishop E8 is written by Sharvi. Vihan has joined us today from US. Wow, very well done, Vihan. Bishop E8, what a move. Bishop E8, is it a good move or not?
Yes, it's trying to do checkmate.
Bishop E8, what a move. Bishop E8 was played by white here. My God, look at the move. And now Queen F7 is the idea. And once the queen enters, slowly and gradually, the knight and the pawn, everything becomes very weak. Bishop E8. Queen to C5 was played by black because he wants to at least, support the knight on F8. Wow. So Queen check, King H8, Bishop A4. Now again he is doing some time pass ideas. Slowly and gradually he'll try to attack the pawn on G6 by playing Bishop D1, F3, E4. Something like that. So after check, King H2, Queen C5, Bishop B3, attacking on E6 first. Queen C8, Bishop D1, Queen to C5, King to G2, and now the bishop is coming. If you give a check, the bishop comes here. And in this position, Kasparov took a break and he went out and he thought that I can do maneuvering not much or whatever is required. I'll keep doing it. I'll keep pushing for the win. And all of a sudden, he heard some kind of noise, some movement here and there. And he heard that the organizer arbiter was telling that Mr. Anatoly Karpov has resigned in this position. And all of a sudden he went on the board and we shook hands, and lot of applaud was there because Gary Kasparov became the world champion again. This is the 24th game. 12-12 happened, and what a hard fought match what it was. What a hard fought match. So although this position, we advise our students not to resign. You are just 1 pawn down, and as such, this queen is also defending. There is no mate as such. But on this world level, they know that this advantage is too much, and Kasparov will certainly win this position. So I hope you like the match. It's not a very attacking or a tactics kind of a match, but it's a very positional and very hard, amazing match. More importantly, this match is very important in terms of the chess career of Gary Kasparov. He needed to win the last round, which he did. Yes, audience, did you enjoy? Everyone, Sharvi, Arisha, Saket, Vihan, Harsh, Sanjit.
It was great.
It's great. Okay, I did. Please write in chat. Okay, well done, guys. Well done. So now let's come to our move of the day. Okay, who will tell? Move of the day. I have not made polls for you. Can you write the move in chat? White to play Polyogevsky versus Zilaigi. What is the amazing move played by White here? Impossible to spot. White to play and win. What is the move here? Pradosh, can you find the move here?
I'm still thinking about it.
Okay. Harsh is trying to write something. Okay. It's an amazing move. Harsh, can you write one more move after this? Harsh has written a very good move. Oh, Sanjit is also writing the same move. Can you write one more move? No, Sharvi. If you play, then the rook will come to defend. It's a very tough move, to be honest. It looks an equal kind of position. But if you look at the black king, it is very vulnerable. And we should be able to do a checkmate. But how?
I think you're supposed to move the rook on d to g7.
Okay, rook to g7. But then he will play rook check. And now once you capture, he will capture your rook. And then I would say white is better, but not clearly winning. White is better, of course. So can you find a better idea? If you play rook g7, then he capture here. And now he capture here as well. Now it is almost equal position. It is almost equal position. The move written by Sharvi, Saket as well as Harsh Dayal is bishop f8. But then he will simply capture it. Then what will you do? He's simply capturing it. If you play rook to g7, rook h8 is coming then. And he's defending h7 pawn also. He has one full piece extra. Rook g6 check is not very good. He'll simply capture by the pawn. So Harsh, if you are writing bishop f8, then rook f8, then what? Harsh, can you write the next move? Okay, now you are changing to bishop f2. Bishop f2, he will simply capture your rook here. Rook into rook. There is no support on your rook right now. Come on, Vihan, my dear Vihan, can you find it? White to play and win. Very amazing idea. Can you write in chat, anyone? Bishop e7, he will capture your rook, rook into rook. One full rook, you are down. Now there is no mate here. No, no, no. Bishop f8. Somebody said again bishop f8, but then rook f8. Now what? Bishop f8, rook f8. No? Okay, I'll tell you. Pradosh, you want to try or not? Pradosh.
I still haven't figured out the answer yet.
The hint is very simple, that the king will get checkmated. This rook will g file. So if I can somehow get my rook on the h file, but how? I mean, rook h7, Vihan, no, king will capture it. Okay, I'll tell you. The move of the day for today, played by Polyugevsky in 1960, white to play, is, can you believe, bishop f8 check. As you said, some of you said it. If you play king h5, then you are a very big fool on the earth, because rook h7 is a check and mate. So on bishop f8, you need to capture, which he did. And now the more amazing move is, can you believe, rook to d3. Oh my God. Now there is no way to stop rook h3 checkmate. Not even Mr. Rajnikant can stop it. Can you believe? Oh ho ho, we can't play rook d3 now because the rook will capture it. So first we do deflection of the rook on the d file. Once the rook is gone away, rook to d3, the idea is rook h3. Even if you play king h5, rook h3 is a checkmate. Even if you play bishop e1, rook h3 is a checkmate after rook h4. My God, did you enjoy this or not, Pradosh?
Yes, it was very.
What a move, what a move, bishop f8. What a move it is. Now rook d3. Got it, all of you, my dear students?
Yes.
Okay, so this was our move of the day, and now we should go to the homework question. And the homework that I gave last week was very, very difficult. I have not got any single correct answer of this. Oh, but I am very happy to tell you that I received lot of answers. That is very nice. But not correct answers. But that's well tried. At least you guys tried so much. Very well done. So the question was, is this a legal position? Is this position a legal position? Is it possible to get this position on board? So if you say yes, you have to give logic. And if you say no, it is not legal, you have to give correct logic for that. Now the answer is, this position is not a legal position. It is not possible to get this position on board. Why? Now pay attention. This pawn has made one capture. This pawn has made 3 captures. And this pawn has made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 captures. And this pawn has made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 captures. So the total number of captures made by white are 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 1, which is 14 captures. 14, 1, 4. And you might think that there are 2 pieces on the board which I can see. So 14 plus 2 becomes 16. So it is legal. You might feel. But here comes genius. Here comes the genius part. Pay attention. The white square bishop, which is on c8, the white colored bishop, which is on c8, जो black का bishop है. This bishop cannot be captured by any of the pawns because pawns have all moved on the dark squares. They have all captured on the dark squares, black squares. So that means they have captured 14 pieces. But this bishop जिसको श्राप दिया गया है कि आप हमेशा लाइट स्क्वायर पे ही मूव करोगे, आप काले पे कभी नहीं आओगे. So this bishop cannot be captured, my dear students. This bishop cannot be captured by the pawn. Cannot. So
but
that
it can
means,
be.
हाँ बोलो.
But it can be captured by the queen.
Yeah, that's okay. The pawns have made 14 captures. Do you agree or not? The pawns have made 14
Yes.
captures themselves. So apart from that bishop, it has made 14 capture. Whereas we can see the two pieces on the board, and therefore it is not possible. How can black have 17 pieces overall? How can black have 17 pieces overall? And therefore the question is, it is not possible. Sharvi has understood it. She's saying nice logic, genius logic, wonderful. Got it, everyone? Saket and all. Sanjit Harijit, I received your mail as well. Is it clear to you now? No, not clear? Okay, I'll explain again. See, this pawn has made 1, this pawn has made 3, this pawn has made 5, and this pawn has made 5. So total number of captures are 14. But then out of these 14, this bishop which was on c8, it cannot be captured by the pawns because that is a light square bishop. So that means out of those 14, they are something else, and then this bishop, and then these two. So we are accounting for 17 black pieces, which is not possible. And therefore, this position is not a legal position. So Mishka also mailed us, but again, the answer was not correct. Okay, got it, all of you now? So now I will give you the today's homework, and you will have to mail the correct answer by Wednesday. I'll send you my mail ID. And if your answer is correct, there is a 100 rupees Google Pay prize. Mail ID is chess with Gaurav Bakliwal @gmail.com. So please mail your correct answers by Wednesday night. Question kya hai? So this position is there on the board. The question asked is this position a legal position? It is already given to us that it is black to play. Now black has to play the move. So you have to mail me question 1, is it a legal position? And question 2, what move did white play last? What was the move that white played? Last move. So 2 questions, please mail by Wednesday night. Is this position a legal position? क्या ये position board पे आ सकती है? White ने आखिरी चाल क्या चली होगी? So basic question आपका ये है कि ये bishop यहाँ घुसा कैसे? How can the bishop come from C1 to G1? Basic question ये. अगर आप, if you can answer this somehow, so you can probably crack this question. Okay, guys, clear all of you? Right. Pradosh,
Yes.
you would like to thank the session? You would like to say thanks for the session?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Gaurav sir, to give me this opportunity to volunteer the event. I enjoyed very much, and it was great fun to interact with you as well as the lovely audience. It really gave me a nice platform to learn chess with you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Pradosh. Well done. You are such a sweet child. Very good child you are. Thank you so much. Thank you, audience. Thank you.